Good morning, everybody. This may happen at your house, and it can be a source of stress for both parents and children. Homework. It can take a toll on everybody in the house, but there are ways to get those after-school assignments done with your sanity intact. Mandy Gaither has 6 ways parents can help their children with homework.
After a long day at school and work, it can be the last thing anyone wants to do.
There's a lot of stress that happens around homework time in general.
6 things can set your family up for homework success. First, meet their basic needs. Grab a snack and drink if the child is hungry or thirsty. Second, set a homework routine. Get work done the same time each day, says Emily Mudd, a pediatric psychologist with the Cleveland Clinic.
For one child, it might be that they do their homework right after school, where another child, it might be after dinner, and making it just part of a structure.
Third, avoid distractions by putting any unneeded devices away. Fourth, work in a shared area of the home.
So they know that you're available to help them if needed.
Fifth, take brain breaks, especially if your child is having trouble focusing.
Getting outside if the weather is nice, getting some sunshine. It could be something as simple as taking a shower, getting some movement in, dancing.
Finally, parents, ask for help. If you don't know how to solve a math problem or don't understand a subject, it's okay to admit that.
You can model, I'm going to take a deep breath, I'm going to take a break, I'm going to, talk to the teacher to see how we can better manage this together. You really want to take those opportunities to model how to positively overcome challenges with your child.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mudd says it's also important to praise the hard work that a child is doing. Discussing grades nonstop can make a child anxious, so Mudd says to focus more on the process of getting good grades, which she says will build the child's internal motivation. So this is a story that touches home with so many families. Now a new public service announcement is raising awareness about the millions of people who struggle with both mental health issues and substance abuse. Stephanie Stahl has more.
My son Harris was truly the young man who lit up a room. Kind, loving, athletic, so incredibly funny.
Harris Marcasano also struggled with anxiety and substance abuse. At age 19, he was dead. His mom says from an accidental overdose.
Every day I feel that loss incredibly.
Marcasano's mom Stephanie says her son suffered from co-occurring disorders. According to the National Institutes of Health, that's when someone has both mental and substance abuse disorders. About 7.7 million people are affected, along with probably millions more who aren't diagnosed.
Even though people say that they address it, they often fail because the system fails them. Nobody challenged the importance of linking mental health, substance misuse, and addiction to change outcomes and to save lives.
She says years of therapy and rehab failed her son. Aiming to save other families, she started the Harris Project to raise awareness about co-occurring disorders.
You need a multi-level approach to this.
Drink if you don't like drinking, but can't escape the thoughts in your head.
The Harris Project is releasing this new PSA on the anniversary of Harris's death. It highlights the dangerous intersection between substance use and mental health.
This is phase 1 of a project designed to first educate and empower young people, their families, and their loved ones about what co-occurring disorders is.
She hopes with awareness there will be an understanding that addiction and mental health need to be treated independently and together, so no other mother confronts losing a child. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
For more information on where to find help and resources, you can check out theharrisproject.org. A taste of travel will take you there when Mid-Morning returns. Stay with us. All right, we're back. It's one of the best parts of taking a trip, and now more Americans are traveling for the food experience alone. The luxury travel network Virtuoso finds 7 in 10 advisors have seen an increase in foodie travelers. Wendy Gillette reports on the taste-driven uptick from Chicago.
A DJ recently jump-started the party at Nobu Las Vegas, celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the hospitality brand's first hotel at Caesar's Palace, with free-flowing sake, caviar-topped tacos, and decadent desserts.
We have great teams.
Chef Nobu Matsuhisa remains at the helm after launching his empire with actor Robert De Niro and Mayor Tepper.
Robert De Niro was the one that said, why don't we do our own hotel? I think it should work.
It did work, thanks in part to Japanese-inspired rooms, Nobu spa treatments, and room service from Nobu restaurants, which are always a part of the brand's hotels. There are now 37 around the world, either open or in development, mirroring the explosion in culinary travel.
This is a tuna.
Celisa Flores from Huntington Beach, California, has visited several, including the Las Vegas property, where we stayed for a special rate.
It's so fresh and just really amazing, innovative ideas with really simple ingredients.
Chicago is also a mecca for food lovers, and even more so now thanks to a very popular TV series based on this real-life Italian sandwich shop, Mr. Beef.
No, chef, that is not respect.
Fans of The Bear visit Mr. Beef to show respect.
Yes, chef.
To the charismatic owner.
At least in my eyes, I feel like it kind of immortalized us.
Other restaurants making appearances in the show include Publican Quality Meats, Avec, a longtime local favorite, and Ever, with 2 Michelin stars and dishes that look like this and this.
The feedback has been incredible from the guest perspective. The staff were incredibly excited about being in the program as well.
A Chicago food tour inspired by the show launched this month.
It's by popular demand that we're starting the tour, which is really awesome.
Another option for eating your way through the city. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, Chicago.
The food tour based on The Bear is now running every other week on Saturdays. It lasts 3.5 hours and costs $129 per person. Here's a plot for a movie. An anthropologist was shopping for secondhand treasures in a Florida antique store. That's when she notices a skull for sale. It was part of a Halloween display, but the skull wasn't made from molded plastic. It was the real deal. Here's the story on that.
In an antique store, it's not uncommon to find old items. But when it comes to finding skeletal remains,
people ask what's the strangest thing I've ever found in a locker. I can honestly say a human skull.
I knew it was real.
That's more than a little out of left field. So naturally, when it's put on the shelf for sale, it comes with a crazy price.
I was selling it for $4,000. I mean, I didn't know what it sounded like a good price, and I'd never seen one before, so I figured it was rare.
In the antiquing business, estate sales and storage units are their playground. Beth Meyer, managing partner of the Paradise Vintage Market, told Wink News her business partner Brian and her found this skull in a storage unit.
So we brought everything in, and we started unpacking, and oh, there's a human skull.
The owner of the unit told Beth and Brian there were rocks and fossils in there, but a human skull was not what they had in mind. And this is not the only skull they have in their shop.
I have had like alligator. We've had snake skeletons. We have had like cow skulls, deer skulls.
This human skull caught the eye of a wandering customer Saturday who just so happens to know a thing or two about skeletal remains.
She was an anthropologist, and so she called the Lee County Sheriff's Office and said, there's a human skull in this antique mall. And they came out. The medical examiner took the skull back to the office, and they are going to do whatever they need to do to figure out what it is.
Among the other carcasses in their shop, this human skull may have just been their liveliest item on the shelf yet.
It was a surreal experience.
We talk about recycling products all the time, but you won't believe how one Virginia company is changing the environment. Mid-morning, we'll be right back. Welcome back. There are more than enough challenges facing the world when it comes to the environment. That's why each year the Earthshot Prize singles out businesses and individuals who are working on some solutions. 5 winners were awarded $1 million for their work. That includes a company in Virginia, as Ben Tracy shows us.
We're on a mission to protect the planet from the cost of clothing.
Connor Hartman is Chief Operating Officer of Cirque, a climate tech startup in the former textile mill town of Danville, Virginia. It's trying to fix the unfashionable problem of clothing waste.
Where does most of our used clothing end up?
Most of it is ending up in landfills or incineration. There's a garbage truck of fashion waste that is dumped every second of every day.
That's because much of our clothing, especially inexpensive and trendy fast fashion, is a blend of cotton and polyester, a form of plastic. It's been nearly impossible to recycle until now.
It's like a little mad scientist.
Cirque invented a way to separate the two through a chemical process.
Our process, for lack of a better term, is a pressure cooker. Water under heat and pressure with some responsible chemistry.
So it's a very fancy Instapot.
It's a very fancy Instapot.
Both materials can then be used again to make new clothing, like these shirts retailer Zara created with Cirque's technology.
So this is the first recycled polycotton clothing item.
You got it.
The impact could be huge. The fashion industry is responsible for about 10% of annual planet-warming greenhouse gas emissions. That's more than all international air travel and maritime shipping combined. Right now, less than 1% of textile waste gets recycled back into textiles.
We can overcome our planet's greatest challenges.
Prince William is giving Cirque a big boost, naming it a finalist for one of his Earthshot prizes.
When you guys found out you were a finalist, what was your reaction?
It was pretty emotional, honestly, and to get this level of recognition for a solution that we know is going to be the future is really inspiring.
Cirque plans to open its first of several industrial-scale factories by 2026 and refashion the way our clothes are made.
Because we have all the clothes we need to make all the clothes we'll ever need.
Ben Tracy, CBS News, Danville, Virginia.
She has one of the most recognizable voices in the world. Gayle King is talking to Barbra Streisand when Mid-Morning returns.
You wouldn't call Gayle King or Oprah Winfrey or somebody. You ain't gonna happen.
That's Tyler Perry. The movie mogul is turning the camera on himself in a new documentary about his remarkable life. It's called Maxine's Baby, the Tyler Perry story. Named after his mother, the film focuses on Perry's early life and the challenges that he faced. Perry's mother passed away, and he says he gets his inspiration now from the historically underrepresented people coming into his studios to work. You can catch the film on Prime Video. All right, Barbra Streisand's new memoir, My Name is Barbra, takes fans behind the scenes of her career, which spans 6 decades. Streisand invited Gayle King and her team into her home in Malibu, California. The Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award winner talked with Gayle about intimate moments from her incredible life.
You said you always knew you wanted to be famous. You knew that. What did you know when it came to that? You always wanted to be famous.
I wanted to be seen. Seen. Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter.
There's no denying that Barbra Streisand has marched to the beat of her own drum. Blazing a trail in acting.
Your girl is lovely, Hubble.
And singing.
Some other place, some brand new place.
Do you sing around the house?
What?
I don't know. Do you?
Never.
Never?
I don't sing in the shower. No? Why would I sing in the shower? I can get paid for singing. You know? I can hold my head up high.
Now, for the first time, Streisand is using her voice to tell her own story in a memoir called My Name is Barbra.
I look at the cover and I go, hello, gorgeous.
Oh.
Yeah. I love this picture of you. Why did you pick this one? Why?
Well, I like that profile. I kind of wish my eye was open, but I couldn't find one that was open.
You like the profile?
I liked that the bump on my nose was right. In other words, sometimes it's at the wrong angle and it doesn't look great.
Did you do the makeup yourself?
Yeah.
You did the makeup for this?
That is an old picture from Funny Girl time.
In the book, Streisand talks about her love for film and explains why sometimes she struggled to perform live.
I was surprised to hear Barbra Streisand, who gets on the stage, and you just bring joy when you're up there. That you're up there and sometimes you are terrified. How's that possible?
Because it happened on stage in Funny Girl. with an actor who we had a flirtation.
That actor was Charlie Chaplin's son, Sidney.
I went to his dressing room to talk to him. Please let it go. We're both married. But he didn't want to hear what I had to say. It was becoming a nightmare. He kept talking to me on stage under his breath, not looking at me in the eyes, looking like at my forehead or my hair or something, and talking like a crazy person. And it was driving me insane. It drove me into therapy. Like, how do I deal with this? That threw me so off that I thought, what is my next line?
But Barbara, how did that affect you having stage fright later in your career when you are huge?
I never lost that. That fear of performing, fear of forgetting my lines.
That fear followed her on stage during this concert at Central Park back in 1967, when she says she forgot song lyrics. After that, she rarely sang in public for nearly 3 decades.
Papa, are you near me? Papa, can you hear me? Papa,
Streisand also talks about tough times in her childhood. Her mother became a widow at the age of 34, after her father died when Streisand was just 15 months old.
This book is dedicated to the father I never knew and the mother I did. If I had a dad, I may never have had the need to be an actress and play other parts, inhabit other bodies, other minds. I probably would have been happy with myself.
Do you think you became an actress and got into the field that you did because you were not happy with yourself? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think I was happy with myself, no. But I sort of had something in me some spark that said, even though my mother said, you'll never make it as an actress, you're not pretty enough or whatever, I thought, because I used to read movie magazines, right? And kind of dream, wouldn't it be wonderful? I think one of the reasons was when I saw movies, the woman got the guy. Oh, you mean there is somebody to love her in the movie? Maybe there's somebody who would love me.
Many of Streisand's dreams have come true right here at her Malibu home. Every detail personally selected. Her legendary garden features a variety of roses and a pathway to this striking view. And then go inside, and you'll find what Streisand calls the mall. Each shop has something unique.
This is my antique clothes room.
Of course it is.
Yes, of course.
Let's go over there.
And you see, I'm so finicky, and when I love something, I don't care how much it costs. This room I painted it pale yellow, the color of a butterscotch rose, and trimmed it with white, and then I said, nope, it's not right. It has to be lavender. Wow. Okay? Trimmed with gold.
When you want something, you don't care how much it costs.
That's right. No,
I like that.
I don't. And this was my funny girl dress. A fan
right here
sent me that. The funny girl dress from the stage. See, here's me in the dress. There.
Look at your wedding dress. Yeah. Oh, I love this.
Isn't that pretty?
Streisand recently celebrated her 25th anniversary with actor James Brolin. To mark the occasion, he wrote her this.
Marrying you was just the best thing I've ever done, you said. I asked you 3 times. And each time you asked her 3 times?
I did. Yeah, she wasn't sure about this idea.
Why, Barbara? He had to ask you 3 times?
Because I don't know. I have to
Minimum
try him out
3 times.
for at least 2 years. Yeah.
And I had been literally, it's a wild word, but I had been celibate for 3 years saying, who needs this?
You're not supposed to tell
for
them.
3 years?
No, I had not had any interest in getting involved in a lousy situation.
He was married twice before.
Yeah.
I was only married once.
After 3 years, that must have been a hell of a night then.
Wild.
What do you
But he says, Home is not a place, home is a person.
Right.
You know someone is right for you if you love to be with them all the time. And when I finally go, I will love you then. Wow. Home is not a place, home is a person.
Mm.
She's
wrote
your
that,
home?
honey.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
You wrote that, and I was like in shock.
it's getting me right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their love is a highlight in Streisand's story, but this question remains.
There's gonna one day be a Barbra Streisand movie. Who should play this girl?
I don't know of anyone who can.
Who is it? You don't know of anyone?
No.
Seriously?
Who do you think should play me? At what age?
Well, all age. You want somebody
Oh.
who can go from, soup to nuts. Who is that?
Can I not have to think about that one yet?
And we'll be right back to wrap things up. Stay with us. All right, be sure you stay connected with us. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time. Have a great day, everybody.